Hey there, Smokemaster D here again with Beginner's Guide to Barbecue. Today we'll answer the question, what kind of grill do you want to get for the cheapest overall cost? Now, cost is one of several factors. For you, it might be the most important. For you, it might not. Maybe you have a lot of money to throw around. But one thing you should know about each kind of these grills and its fuel source is that there's a wide range of possible prices for each of them. You can buy the really cheap ones that I'm going to be sharing with you today, or you can get a custom in each of these types with their fuel source that's just an astronomical amount of money. So we'll be looking at the cheap ones, but before we do that, I would like to mention a few things that make a grill more or less expensive. And it generally comes down to about three things. The first thing, and the most important one, is going to be the construction. And that has a lot to do with determining the heat distribution and retention in the grill. So the metal thickness is the first thing. 1/4 of an inch is on better brands. After that, you're going to have an 1/8 of an inch or a 1/16 of an inch. The Yoder Wichita is going to have that really thick metal. But if you get, the Char Griller, it's going to be very thin. One thing that you should also know is that gauges are another measurement of steel thickness. And one thing that you might be surprised to learn, as I was, is that the lower number of the gauge, the thicker the metal. So I thought it was going to be like the opposite, like higher gauge, thicker, but it's actually the opposite. If you take the measurements I threw out before, like a 1/4 of an inch, that is 3 gauge steel. An 1/8 of an inch is 11 gauge, and lastly, a 1/16 inch is 16 gauge. So another thing to note is that gauges are not the same between different metals, like aluminum will have a different measurement, in millimeters or what have you for the gauge number. So just things to know. Why does it matter, though, what the thickness is for your metal? So it's very important in how your grill is going to hold and radiate back out heat. And it's going to do a lot to the distribution of heat throughout the cooker, which ultimately is gonna make your meat inside the cooker cook evenly or not. So if you've got some really good thick metal, it's gonna hold the heat. It's gonna cook evenly. If not, not so much. And also, weather conditions like cold, wind, rain, those are gonna affect a cooker with thinner metal a lot more than one with thicker metal. The other thing in construction is the tightness of the seals. Anywhere two parts come together, there's going to be a seal between them, like the lid or, where they put on the smokestack or whatever it is. How good those seals are also determines how well the cooker's going to hold on to that heat. I have my Pit Boss. You see the smoke coming out sometimes of the lid. So that seal there is not very tight. Maybe that's how they wanted it when they designed the Pit Boss, but maybe it's something that could use, some help as well. And that is one thing about these grills. You can get a cheaper one and modify it to make up for some of its deficiencies, oftentimes a lot cheaper than buying the more expensive grill. So keep that in mind as well. Now, the second thing that's really going to affect the cost can be accessories. You're going to want to look at, what does it come with? What are the add-ons? And almost for all these grills, you're going to find like a base price, and then there's something else they might want to sell you. Maybe not so much with the pellet grills, but with a lot of the other ones. Like I was looking into getting a drum smoker. Now, you can get a kit and make your own ugly drum, but I was looking at a different brand, and I was amazed at how many add-ons there are. There's the hot dog baskets, vegetable baskets to hang down, all the hooks. So there's a lot that you can get with that. And you're going to have to ask yourself, how much do I want to spend on these accessories? What do I need? My neighbor, he gave me an offset. It's old, rusted. He didn't use it at all. And I had to ask myself, what do I need to make this work? I've bought a basket for the charcoal, in the firebox. I bought an Ingbird thermometer, all the things that I needed to get to make it work, right? The third thing is, where is it made? In America, we have higher labor costs, so it's going to be more expensive. But perhaps you're going to get better customer service. Perhaps you're going to get better construction overall. In China and other third world countries, there's lower costs for labor, and that will perhaps make for a lower costing grill. You're going to have to decide, is it worth it to have that lower cost grill? Pit Boss, they make their grills in China, and I have one of those. It works fairly well. I've modified it, Now let's get to the main event, the charts. So the first chart here is a grill fuel cost comparison. I got our data from cookingpellets.com, and this is based on 1 hour at 225 degrees Fahrenheit. I know the name Cooking Pellets, they sell pellets. They are the ones who gave me this data. Maybe you're thinking, hey, when it turns out that pellets are going to be the cheapest, I'm going to know that this is rigged. I believe the data. Pellets are fairly cheap, especially if you get Pit Boss pellets. You can get them very cheap at Walmart. I think that these averages are probably fairly close. You can be skeptical if you want to be, but that's your issue to take with it. I broke down this data, how I did, and let's look at it. Let's see what we see. So their data that I'm using, charcoal, 285 an hour for this 225 degree Fahrenheit heat, 76 cents for pellets, $1.20 for propane gas, and electric is 26 cents or $1.50, added if you want to have the wood. And I guess when you have an electric smoker, not having the wood would almost make it not a smoker. So you really do need the wood. Now you can add wood to all these other ones too. Charcoal, you can throw a piece of wood on the coals, or you can get a little box to smoke. Pellets, you can add an extra tube of pellets. There's other ways to add even more wood smoke to pellets. I've got the Heavy D stick burning heat diffuser. Propane gas, I think you can add some of these ways as well. So you can add extra cost in there, but for the electric, it seems like it's really necessary. So the flavor imparted, we broke that down into, for charcoal, it's pretty good. Pellets, pretty good. Propane gas, mild flavor. Electric, none. I don't have much experience with electric smokers, so adding the wood, it's good. I don't know. Maybe somebody out there does. But I suspect it's good if you're actually burning some wood. The grill cost, and these are grills that I went out specifically looking to get the lowest grill cost I could find. This Expert grill at Walmart is $20. That's cheap. It's really cheap. The Masterbuilt pellet smoker, $276.26. Charbroil has this $34 propane gas one. I think it's, you can pick it up, take it out on the picnic with you. I found the George Foreman for $9.99. I decided it's not a smoker, so I'm not going to use it. And I found an Americana 2-in-1 that's $105.99. And then this last column, we have the cooking area in square inches, 302 for the charcoal grill. From Walmart, $390 for the Masterbuilt, $190 for this Charbroil grill that you can take with you, and the Americana 2-in-1 has 351 inches squared area for cooking. And now we're at our last chart, the most important chart. I did some math, and this is what I found. So at 100 hours, your total cost for the charcoal grill is going to be $305. So that's the cost of the grill, which was $20, plus 100 hours worth of fuel. all added together. Pellets, it's going to be $352, propane $154, electric I broke it down again, so it's $131.99 and $281.99. So at this point we see that the pellet grill is the highest. But then I'm going to break it down for price per square inch. So you have this real estate for cooking that's going to be greater in one than the other. So price per square inch is $1.01 for charcoal, 90 cents for pellets, and then 81 cents for the propane, 38 cents, and then 80 cents respectively for the electric. So you see right there, looking at the space, it's already shifted a little bit. And the charcoal is now actually the highest. Then if we string this out to 1,000 hours, charcoal is going to be $2,870, pellets $1,036.26, propane $1,234, electric is going to be $370.69 or $1,870.69 with that breakdown there. So things are shifting, and then we do it out to the price per square inch, $9.50 per square inch for 1,000 hours on charcoal, $2.66 per square inch on the pellet grill, and then $6.49 per square inch on the propane, and then $1.04 if you only use electric, which why would you do that? $5.32 for the electric grill. So we see here, and maybe you're thinking back to that pellets, cookingpellets.com data that we started with. Yes, overall, pellet cooking is the cheapest cooking according to this data. Does it provide the most flavor? I think no, but some people prefer that flavor. These pellet cookers do produce a good smoke. The pellets themselves don't have a lot of moisture in them, which is why I believe that they do not create the best smoke flavor. But I started on a pellet grill, my Pit Boss 700 FB. I learned a lot using it. It makes great food. The food tastes good. There is smoke flavor. And I think if you're starting out, if you're a beginner, do it. Do the pellet grill. Put in that extra money. It will save you money in the long run. And there you go. That's our breakdown. Please like and subscribe. And I hope to see you back here again for some more fun learning about grilling and smoking meats.